Want to meet some interesting neighbors? Stay tuned for SADAQA coming up next.
Every day we witness signs in our lives of mankind's proudest accomplishments. And gathered in many locations throughout our city are some who see these signs and know Allahu Akbar, God is greater. They are called Muslim, for those who submit to the will of God. And you are warmly invited to meet some of them as Visma Rabic Foundation presents SADAQA with host Gerard Ibn Earl Bilal. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to SADAQA. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Actually, this one is going to start off on a very serious note. And before I tell you about that, I want to tell you about some of the things that you will see. We've got Nikia Bilal, who will be doing the Children's Islamic Book Review. And we have Munir Um'rani. You may recall seeing him a few weeks ago at the American Islamic College interviewing Steve Johnson, or Dr. Steve Johnson. Today he is going to interview an individual who is going to speak about the Palestinian issue from a side that you don't hear much of in the media. And I hope you will watch that with interest, and you may learn a little bit more about the situation in Palestine. Also today we're going to have a Quranic recitation by Yusuf Islam, formerly known as Cat Stevens. He was a musician who found Allah and has been disseminating and teaching in England, where we have some tape courtesy of the Islamic Information Service out of California, and also the Chicago Foundation for Religious and Cultural Reflection right here in Chicago. And our first guest today is Dr. Ahmad Hussein Sakr. Dr. Sakr is a scholar, to say the least. He has written many publications on nutrition and health, as well as a couple of books that I have had the good fortune to read, the Chronicles of Kuttab, as well as orations from the pulpit, I think it is. And Dr. Sakr, welcome to SADAQA.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this respected program.
Well, I am very delighted that you were able to come and share
Thank you very much.
The wisdom Allah has blessed you with us and our audience.
All together.
You know, recently,
yes,
the Chicago Tribune
yes,
ran an editorial cartoon that showed a person from Iran, and they called Mullah, dressed in a turban and in
yes,
black.
Yes.
And as I discussed this, we're seeing this, we'll show this on the air now, if I can get our technical people to do that. Holding what they purport to be a copy of Qur'an.
Yes.
And this caption, I quote from Qur'an, "If you're caught laying mines in international waters, lie like hell." A'udhu billah.
You see, Brother Bilal, that is a misfortune what has been done in Chicago Tribune. Respected newspaper such as Chicago Tribune should never ever had such type of diagram and writings against the Holy Book of Islam. I don't know how it slipped their tongue and their writings. We give them the benefit of the doubt. They did not do it with malice against Islam and Muslims, but it gave a very bad taste. And Muslims are very annoyed to see such type of diagram against the Quran.
Yes.
You see, to write something about a holy book of a particular group, it pinches and it hurts the people all over the world. If any Muslim writes supposedly, God forbids, against the Bible, it hurts the Christians.
Yes.
And if anybody writes against the Torah, it will hurt the Jews, no doubt about it. But if people write against individual anywhere in the world, they take it, it's a bad taste, it's enough. But to write against not only a whole group, but also the holy book of that group, it's too much to be accepted.
Yes, of course. One of, in fact, the primary reason that we began doing these programs, SADAQA, is so that we could perhaps clear up some of the misconceptions about this way of life we call al-Islam. To depict the Quran, well, we know that the Quran is God's word to man and instruction. And to depict the Quran as saying that one should lie like hell is saying that God is telling people to lie.
Which is totally unfounded. I mean, no one book of religion in the world teaches the adherents to lie. It's to the contrary. They teach them how to be honest, true, and to say the truth. And even in Islam, the most abhorrent thing is to lie. A Muslim is supposed to say the truth even if it is against him, and even if he is to die, he should say the truth. And this is what I'm saying. Chicago Tribune did the worst thing in their history, is to quote something 100% against the teaching of the Quran.
Yes. Yes.
And this is not the first time that newspapers, other than Chicago Tribune, are doing this against the Muslims of the world. Muslims have to stand up and to say the truth. I do know there are so many stereotypes against the Muslims of America and the Muslims of the world, but maybe lack of communication, that we are not talking to each other, and therefore we should have a dialogue, and we should have trialogue also, not only dialogue,
yes,
where those who call themselves God-fearing people, those who call themselves God-conscious people, should sit together and talk to one another and help one another. And indeed, Islam has demanded in the Quran that Muslims should go to the Christians and to the Jews who are God-fearing people to tell them, oh, you who are God-fearing, come, let's sit together and talk together and work out something for mankind so as people can benefit from our teachings. And I wish that the religious people will sit together and discuss their mutual understanding among each other so as we know each other. Because the stereotypes, as you know, Brother Bilal, in the whole country of America and in Europe and other countries, now is concentrated mainly on Arabs.
Yes.
They call them Arabs, just a derogatory sentence.
That's right.
And
Arabs I hear in the community.
yeah. And the Muslims, and you know, they talk, there are so many, I piled so many, about maybe 50 derogatory sentences against the Muslims, that I found them in textbooks, in encyclopedia, in reference books, and newspaper here and there. Why in the world, while the Arabs and the Muslims are most loving people, most helpful, even the Muslims of America, you know, Muslims of America are between 7 to 8 million Muslims, and Muslims of Chicago are not less than 500,000. If the Muslims are bad, at least somebody by the name of Bilal, Ahmad, Muhammad, Mahmoud, Zainab, Mustafa are criminals. How many criminals have you seen, Muslims in Chicago? Very rarely, close to nil. Because they are God-fearing, God-conscious, they respect people, they respect the elderly, they respect the children, and therefore they feel they should not commit a crime because they are family-oriented, they are highly educated, they are oriented toward working and doing business and producing to the society, and they have great regard to every loving human being. Why in the world they are being assaulted? Maybe because they do not stand up and speak.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful to you, Brother Bilal, that you took this initiative to make a dialogue at least. And I hope many more dialogues of this nature will be in the future, whereby you bring the representative of Chicago Tribune, he should be with us here, and have a dialogue, a friendly dialogue.
As a matter of fact, I must say that we have invited the publisher of the Chicago Tribune, Mr. Stanton R. Cook, to be with us today. And we sent that request via certified mail. I know he received it in his office October 15th.
I see.
Unfortunately, we received no response. And we would like to understand, perhaps, if there was an innocence in this. I know that the cartoonist is actually based in one of the Tribune's syndication papers out of Florida somewhere. And we would welcome the editorial staff of the Chicago Tribune to come on to the SADAQA program at any time and perhaps give, if not an explanation or rebuttal, just tell the people what their views are in terms of our book here and how they perceive it. We're going to come right back to this discussion with Dr. Ahmad H. Sakr, H is for Hussein, after a recitation from the Holy Qur'an, the book that has been slandered, from a very famous Muslim. I should say the recitation is by a very famous Muslim, not that the book is from a very famous Muslim. The book is from Allah. The name of this individual is Yusuf Islam, and he was formerly known as Cat Stevens. Won't you watch with us?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا زلزلت الأرض زلزالها وأخرجت الأرض أثقالها وقال الإنسان ما لها يومئذ تحدث أخبارها بأن ربك أوحى لها يومئذ يصدر الناس أشتاتا ليروا أعمالهم فمن يعمل مثقال ذرة خيرا يره ومن يعمل مثقال ذرة شرا يره. SADAQA-Allah al-Azim. Translation of this surah. When the earth is shaken with her final earthquake, and the earth throws up her burdens from within, and mankind will cry, what is the matter with her? On that day she will declare her tidings, for that thy Lord will have given her inspiration. On that day will mankind proceed in companies, groups sorted out, to be shown the deeds that they had done. Then shall anyone who has done an atom's weight of good see it, and anyone who has done an atom's weight of evil shall see it. Allah has spoken the truth. This chapter of the Qur'an, for many it will be the first time that they have heard the Qur'an itself, which is in Arabic. And what I've given as a translation is one of the many translations, I think about 30 translations in the English language. This is by Yusuf Ali. The subject of this chapter, or surah as it is in Arabic, is basically the last day, the end of the world. From the beginning of man's appearance on earth, since Adam, and it has been continually revived by various prophets and messengers who sometimes have brought books and scriptures. So therefore we see that Islam confirms the belief in all the authentic or true prophets of God, true messengers of God. We find them mentioned in the Quran. Many non-Muslims are still surprised when they hear that Jesus is considered a messenger of God in Islam. The same with Abraham, Noah, Moses, David, Solomon, and of course the last messenger and prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So if we look at this way of life, this deen, it has a name. The name itself describes this way of life perfectly. Whereas other religions, you can see that they take their names from the founders of those faiths, or from certain prophets, or even places, like Christianity, the name of Christianity, based on the name of Jesus Christ. Judaism, coming from the land of Judea, or the Jews. Hinduism, the land of Hind. Zoroastrianism, etc., etc. But Islam is unique in that the word itself describes the very essence of the religion. And the meaning is very simple. It means submission. Islam means submission. Submission to the will of God.
And that was Yusuf Islam. Now that was Qur'an. That's what you read, what you hear when one recites Qur'an, not what the Tribune portrayed. And getting back to that topic, because it is such an important issue, I can recall there was an individual, I believe it was Imam Warthaddin Muhammad, who said that, pointed out that Adolf Hitler was a Christian. But you never hear it being referred to as all the Christians in the world were involved in this terrorism of Nazi Germany, or this horror of Nazi Germany.
Exactly.
All we hear is about the Holocaust.
Exactly.
And isn't that the fair way, Dr. Sakr?
It is very fair way. The same thing. What we hear about North Ireland, the Protestant and the Catholics are fighting one another, killing one another, and nobody is blaming the whole Catholics of the world, nobody is blaming the Protestant of the world. And we Muslims have no right to blame anybody except the one who commit the crime.
That's right.
Islam teaches us that whoever commits a crime, he is to be responsible for his crime. We cannot blame the whole Christianity or the whole Christians. We cannot blame the Catholics or the Protestant for any single crime being committed by a single individual. And the same thing, we cannot blame the whole Jews of the world for any crime that a state of Israel has committed wrongly against the Palestinians.
Yes.
Islam teaches us that we should be fair with each and every human being, with each and every society, with every community, and above all, we should respect the holy book of every community.
Yes. I read recently in this issue of the Muslim Journal newspaper, a situation that concerns this issue we're speaking of today. Yes. A gentleman or brother, Abdullah Alim Bashir, I know him personally. He is the imam at the West Side Muslim Center at 24 North Pulaski.
Yes.
Wrote an account of how he tried to protest to the Tribune and the reception that he received. And I just want to read a little of this so that there will be a clear understanding for all of us, those of you who are watching that are Muslim and those of you who are watching that are non-Muslim, of exactly the circumstances here. And you ask God yourself and determine what is fair. It says, Chicago Tribune insult is the caption here. It says, "Dear editor, on September 30th, 1987, a cartoon appeared on the Persian Gulf situation that depicted an Iranian holding a Qur'an and allegedly quoting from it. The supposed quote was a joke punchline that was in fact a figment of the cartoonist's imagination designed to extract humor from his readers. This correspondent contacted the authority responsible for that cartoon at the Chicago Tribune, and his reply was that he did not believe that an apology was necessary and that we should write a letter to the editor in response." Well, I think that until such time as Muslims do become active, or any decent person who believes in fairness can react with sensitivity to things like this and write a letter to the editor or a telegram to the publisher or tie up the phone lines, until such times as these types of actions have been taken or are being taken, the rights of all people can be trampled on by the media in the world. And that is a very, very sad state of affair if that is what we as people who consume the media allow to happen. And with that, I'm really very thankful that Dr. Ahmad Sakr has been able to join us today.
Thank you very much.
Sir, I must say that you'll have to come back and share.
It was my honor to come back anytime you invite me. Thank you very much.
Inshallah, that will be very soon.
Shukran. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This is Gerard Bilal. 7 days after taping the program you're watching, I received this letter from Mr. James D. Squires, editor of the Chicago Tribune. It reads, I am sorry you were offended by the cartoon satirizing Ruhollah Khomeini. I appreciate your sensitivity on this issue, and I apologize for any discomfort you were caused. Please let me assure you it was not the intention of Mr. Wright to make fun of the Qur'an. He was, in fact, suggesting that a Shiite Muslim leader had forsaken the teachings therein. The cartoon was, in our opinion, legitimate commentary by one of the best political cartoonists in America. It is not our policy to censor the expression of opinion, even when it offends our readers. I am sure you can appreciate this position, in spite of the fact you do not agree with it. Mrs. Lois Will, editorial page editor, has invited Mr. Akhtar Hussain of the Muslim Community Center to meet with the members of our editorial board to discuss the concerns you raised in your letter. Signed, sincerely, James D. Squires, editor. We now join Mr. Munir Um'rani as he interviews Mr. Shukri AbuBakr.
We have with us Shukri AbuBakr, a student at the University of Indianapolis, where he has taken a master's degree in business administration. He recently spoke in Chicago at a symposium on Palestine, sponsored by the Islamic Circle of North America. Welcome to SADAQA. In recent years, the Palestinian question has been seen in a regional context, in an Arab context, but never in an Islamic context. In your opinion, has this been a mistake?
Yeah, I think that the Palestinian issue has been deliberately moved out of its Islamic context into some other vague and fuzzy context. Islam has a lot to do with Palestine, and Palestine is considered to be a Muslim land. Our history shows that, and the conflict that took place in Palestine actually has indeed a religious background between Judaism and Islam. So we can elaborate on that, but taking it from its context as an issue of the Muslim nation, and to me consequently an issue of whole humanity against oppression and against injustice and forced occupation, into an issue of or a national or regional issue, actually draws a lot of attention and makes it a less interested issue.
Why do you think it was taken out of the Islamic context?
Well, if we count the Muslims, we'll find them close to 1 billion Muslims nowadays, and Islam is, of course, one, or if not the largest religion on this earth, and by manipulating and maneuvering around the reality of the issue as an issue that concerns all of the Muslims, because we believe that if injustice or oppression or occupation is done to a Muslim land, all Muslims should move as one unit to solve that situation. So by actually making the Palestinian issue like an issue of the Arab world, you are talking about 1 million Arabs. So you are discounting almost 900 million. If you are making it an issue of Palestinians as people, you're talking about maximum 4-5 million. So you are actually discounting, or you are cutting off the rest of the world. So I think that is why we believe it is deliberately put into that box, that closed box, instead of being a global issue that concerns at least 1 billion Muslims, in addition to those who have hearts and those who have conscience among the other religions in this world.
You mentioned that it has been put into sort of a closed box. Who's responsible for putting it into this closed box?
Well, that's quite difficult to answer precisely, because we have to then go back or count on specific, let's say, historical incidents. But
well, can we ask then, have the Muslims and the Arabs themselves been partially responsible?
Definitely, and they took part actually in the process. But it was originated from the British themselves when they were ruling most of the Middle East countries, including Palestine, under the British mandate in the 20s, and they actually noticed the Islamic anguish and the concern of the Muslims towards what's happening in Palestine. So they actually worked into the process of isolating the Palestinians inside Palestine from the rest of the Muslims, and also isolating the Arabs as an ethnic group from the rest of the Muslim world. And the Arabs only represent 1/10 of the Muslim world. So that's how actually the Palestinian issue lost a lot of its substance.
Given the current state of affairs, do you have any hope for the Palestinian issue?
I definitely have. Actually, I have more hope today than any time in the past. I do believe that not only the Muslims will act. Today we have a lot of strong believers in the legitimacy of the Palestinian issue as an issue of people who were driven out of their homeland, as people who were denied their access to their religious and to their heritage access. And not only the Muslims will move, I believe the whole world of concerned humanitarians will stand by the Palestinians if the matter is clear to them.
Thank you, Shukri AbuBakr.
You're welcome.
And this is Munir Um'rani for SADAQA.
Well, that was Munir Um'rani in an interview of a brother from Palestine. Maybe it sheds a little bit more light on the Palestine issue that you've heard about surely, but didn't get that side of in many cases. And with me now is Nikia Bilal. Nikia, of course, does the book review for children. Actually, it's an Islamic book review for children in our SADAQA shows. Assalamu alaikum, Nikia.
Walaikum assalam.
And what is the book that we're reviewing today?
Well, today's book is called The Muslim Nursery Rhymes. And this book does not have stories, but it has poems in it. And it's taken out of, it's put together a collection of poems. And what they did was take some nursery rhymes and turn them into Muslim rhymes.
They took nursery rhymes and turned them into
rhymes.
Muslim rhymes?
Right.
Can you give me an example of that?
Well, I'll recite two. The first one is called Muhammad Hassan. It's called Adan. Muhammad Hassan, come call Adan and bring all the Muslims to prayer. Bring them from the factory and bring them from the school. Bring them from their comfy bed and from their easy chair. Call them in the morning, call them in the night. Call everyone to Islam, call them to the light.
Ah, okay, let's hear the other one.
And the next one is called Baby Amina, and this one is taken off of Humpty Dumpty. Baby Amina climbed up the stairs. Baby Amina fell over some chairs. She stumbled and rolled and began to cry, but no one could stop her, yet hard did they try, till Sister Khadija began saying her prayers. Then Baby Amina then laughed at those chairs. So if you're so silly to fall down the stairs, remember Khadija, just saying her prayers.
Ah, so the name of this book is Muslim Nursery Rhymes, huh?
Right.
Yeah, that's very pleasant. And I'm sure you'll be reciting those to your little sister at home, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, I want to thank Nikia Bilal for joining us in SADAQA today and sharing the Muslim nursery rhymes with us. I also want to thank our guests, Munir Um'rani and his guests in the interview, Dr. Ahmad Hussein Sakr, who was with us and spoke at length about the recent Chicago Tribune editorial cartoon, as well as maybe giving you a little insight into what al-Islam really means for people. Yusuf Islam, formerly Cat Stevens, reciting Qur'an. And I want to thank you. Assalamu alaikum. SADAQA means to tell the truth. SADAQA is a charity.